أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي أشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. All right, welcome everyone. Inshallah, we will continue with the rays, fruits of belief, discussing what man and his responsibilities, why he's here in this world, what his purpose of existence is. This is a section based on the verses of that God is the preserver, and he is the first, the last, the evident, and the inward. And whatever is in the heavens and the earth is out of his mercy. Man also being part of his mercy. And an interesting take on from the author of how we've been going through understanding how man is, that he is a guest here, he's an official, he's in the seed of the Muhammadan truth, where he can grow and understand the reality, a comprehensive fruit of the tree of the universe. All those phrases we kind of touched upon, talked about them. And I think we stopped here at the responsibility man has, where he has been given free will. So I am given free will. I find myself taking all sorts of decisions, doing whatever, many things I would like to do. So all those actions, choices, I am left free, absolutely, completely free. And all those actions have consequences, and they're all recorded. So they are known within the knowledge of the one who has given me all those options, presented me. So they are all recorded. And then we touched upon man who has undertaken the supreme trust, from which the heavens and earth and mountains shrank. So we touched upon that man is, of course, with all that free will, man comes with the responsibility. And out of all of creation, man, as we've been studying, is the most comprehensive one, with the most understanding, who can understand what's going on in the universe within himself, can make sense of it. So any message or revelation that comes, who needs to be guided? That's the question. Or supreme trust, whatever that entails. The body or the material side does not need to be guided, but the spirit of man who can make sense of things has to be guided. So for all but the actions or the free will comes responsibility as well. And that's what the guidance comes into play for the human being. And it is man who needs to follow that guidance of the supreme trust, be who he is, what he's meant to be, fulfill the purpose of his existence, her existence being here, for why they are here. It's not just to have a profession and then, or to educate for some particular field, work on it for a few years and then die. So every free will has consequences. So if there's any comment on this section before I move on to the next one on the two roads. All right, so we'll continue. And before whom are two roads. So before man are always options. There are choices to make, two roads, on one of which he is the most wretched of living beings. So one road is not the best road for him to take, one option. So he is the most wretched of living beings, and on the other, the most fortunate. The other is the one he can benefit from, is good for him. So man is a universal bondsman, charged with most extensive worship. A universal bondsman charged with most extensive worship.
What does it mean?
So man is the most comprehensive one individual, if we can see based on our qualities that we have as a human being, I am endowed with. I can make sense of things. I can call, I can exclaim many things, like verbally, feelings-wise, emotionally. I can make sense of the universe, make sense of myself. So I have, with the free will I'm given, I wonder at it. So I can use all those qualities that I am endowed with to reply back, respond back.
Human potentiality is to recognize the reality is limitless.
It's reality is limitless.
And because of free will, we can continue investigating what the reality of this world is, this creation is. We have no end. So the more we discover how the universe is coming into existence, it means how it is functioning, the more we discover, the better we become aware of the qualities of the creator of these events. So we can limitlessly, for us limitlessly, we cannot get to the end, have the opportunity to acknowledge the creator of the universe, God. So this is charged with this universal bondsman. It means endless. Everywhere I can go and investigate, not only in one subject. For example, trees cannot act like animals. Trees cannot know what animals' life is, but human beings can know everything. Yeah, they cannot be a tree, but they know how the tree is really manifesting the qualities of its creator. So we can go to animal life, we can investigate and know how they are manifesting the qualities of their creator. We can go inanimate beings, we know we can learn how they are manifesting the qualities of their creator in different ways. So we can have this wide, limitless spectrum of manifestations of the qualities of the creator. That's why potentially we are universal abd. Abd means really knows the truth and ties up his the reality to the source of these qualities and turns it into worship. It means you are the one who created this with these qualities, these qualities. We can go beyond what is created and deduce, understand who is the one who is functioning behind it. Now we can see the work, we can see the one who is performing this work through our intelligence, understanding, questioning, and the capacity to understand, to reason and understand and conclude about ghaib. Ghaib means absolute being. We have to use this quality always. That is ubudiyah. That is worship. Well, I mean, obeying the rules of Sharia is another type of worship, but this is what we have to do all the time. Be aware of it.
It's like the active kind of worship.
Yeah, active worship, but in many ways, not limited in one area or in one or two manifestations of the name, the qualities of the Creator. But all the qualities of the Creator is in front of us. We can investigate, we can acknowledge, and we can also confirm that they all belong to the Creator of these things, these arts, these works, whoever gives existence to them. So we can always go to the unknown, ghaib, not unknown, to the ghaib side of it. It means the absolute owner of these qualities. It is very easy for human beings to acknowledge it. It's very easy. Anything you can look at this and you say it is made by an engineer. Right. You can see that this is made by an architect or artist. This book is written by an author. This is ghaib, because I haven't seen author, but I'm sure it is written by an intelligent being. No one doubts about it. It is very human. So the universe also is an art, and there must be an artist. We can easily conclude that. So all the qualities in the art is coming from its artist, it is creator, it is maker.
Yeah. So universal worship.
Yeah, that is universal worship, endless, limitless. We cannot say, we reach the end, we cannot say, oh, I'm very narrow, I have to work in a very narrow area. No, endless, open.
So stay open and keep investigating, learning.
Everything is in front of us possible.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you. So next, the place of manifestation of the greatest name of the monarch of the universe.
Now it is going deeper and deeper. The text is going deeper. First, it's possible that I can acknowledge all the qualities of its creator. Now, one stage, but the greatest name, what does it mean? The greatest name of the creator. Monarch means the
Lord
creator,
of the universe, creator of the universe.
Owner of the universe. What does it mean, the greatest name? Now, we say God is powerful. How much? Now, you cannot get to the end to acknowledge the absolute power. You see power manifested here, in another form here, in another form here, in another form here. And you see that everywhere the power is manifesting at the same time, not at a gradual level. First, for example, I read this page first, and then after finishing this page, I can read the following page. I cannot read all the pages at the same time. But the power, knowledge, wisdom of the Creator manifests themselves at the same time, everywhere, at different levels that I can deduce, I can understand. For example, when I see Niagara, the Rahma is so plenty. But you can see when you turn your faucet on, it is Rahma again. Compare it with the Niagara Falls and your faucet running water.
It's a waterfall.
So waterfall is there in Niagara as if in this comparison, it is the greatest manifestation of the name of mercy, name of providence. Now, prepare everything before we need it.
Yeah.
So gets the water ready for summer, that we need water in summer. That is wisdom. In summer doesn't rain much. But we need the same, not quality, quantity of water in summer as well, even more. It is provided. So we see that the capacity of each name, endless capacity of each name, that is called greatest name.
It's like absolute in that way.
Yeah, it's open to absolute for us. We cannot
Okay.
comprehend absolute. We
Right.
understand that it goes into infinite.
I see, the greatest name for us.
For us, whatever the
to go
manifestation of the name you are studying, some people are specializing in the design, some people are specializing in wisdom, some people are specializing. Wherever you specialize, that is your greatest name. Some people study animal life, some people study atoms, some people study chemical reactions. Yeah, some people study, I don't know, human cells.
Yeah.
Everybody is specializing in one subject, but what they see there, manifestations of the qualities of creator, deeper and of course in great detail than I can see. For that, I don't know, in many subjects, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. So I don't know which kind of names are manifesting there. But I have the potentiality. If I study, I would. So greatest name is understood in two senses. According to your speciality, whatever the name, manifestation of the name you are studying will be your greatest name. Mm-hmm. You know, Ismi Azam.
Ismi Azam.
Yeah, it is called, yeah, greatest name of God. Mm-hmm. And also, that's your specialty. And also, in general, every name can be studied and endlessly see how infinite it is, its manifestation is. Mm-hmm. So that is theoretical. Practically, everybody is specialized in one subject. Both of them are, to me, the meaning of it is within the meaning of greatest name. Mm-hmm.
So man being the place of manifestation of those greatest names.
Yeah.
And also being a mirror of all those names.
This is a comprehensive mirror. Mm-hmm. Why? Again, another, or all of his names. Mirror of all his names. Why? When I acknowledge it, no, it reflects in my being, in my feelings, in my mind. So that is the prophetic, the mission of the prophets, to teach us how are we going to put into practice in our life whatever we realize the qualities of the Creator, and accept that my Creator is so generous. Practical example, how much I put it in to practice in my life. When I act, inshallah, I will generously, what is seen in me, manifestation of generosity of my Creator. The more I practice, the better the mirror I am to the name generous, Kareem. Mm-hmm. So the prophets manifest all these qualities of the Creator in their behavior. That is why we are very watchful how he explained the matter, how he practiced it within his living conditions, so that I learn from that and apply it in my living conditions, so that I will be a mirror. Mm-hmm. Of course, we should not say that a human body, in human body, you see the manifestations of God's names. The eye sees here, the ears hear, tongue tastes, etc. That is correct, but limited understanding.
Yeah.
That's not wrong. That's correct, limited. The larger understanding, when I understand the manifestations of name and practice it through my feelings, behavior.
Practice it.
Now, not my own body. Body automatically demonstrates it. But automatic demonstration of the names of God is equal to other animals as well. Dogs see as well. Dogs hear as well. Dogs smell as well. That's like I do.
Mm-hmm.
But when we try to define who human beings or what human beings are, I have to come to me as different from a dog. Although I have animal side. Yeah, but that is as much as a dog is, my animal side. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But my human side, animals don't have it. That is my human feelings. That's why we have to say that God is compassionate. All right. How much did you perform compassion in your action? Yeah. God is wise. How much did you use wisdom in your life? Manifested, mirror. Mirror will reflect. So the problem is in us, we don't usually see that our behavior is originated from the realization of the source of existence of my feelings. Of long sentence, but God's qualities are manifested in me. If I am conscious of them, then I put it into practice and reflect it in my practical life. That is what the prophets are. Main missions of the prophets is this, to reflect the Creator's qualities in their life. But we see the prophet only receiving the message of the Quran and transferring to us. That is not wrong, definitely, but it is very limited. He receives it and transfers it, it's finished. But prophetic mission mainly is not receiving and transferring it. That's it's included. Prophetic mission to put it into practice and demonstrate. What do they put into practice? The content of the Quran. Content of the Quran is what? Mainly introducing who our Creator God is. So we have to tie up all of them. So, for example, it is very famous in Islamic literature and civilization that the Prophet was a living Quran. Yeah, correct. Yeah. It's not wrong. What does it mean? Yeah. That is what the prophets were mirrors of the teachings of the Quran. Teachings of the Quran is the mirror of God's qualities. God is introducing himself. That tie, that connection needs special attention to find out or to realize. Otherwise, this rhetoric is beautiful. The prophet was a living Quran. It's beautiful, correct. But practically nothing. This doesn't guide me, doesn't give me guidance.
Yeah.
This is why it's important for us to go, what does it mean? What does it mean? Practically, what does it mean for me? And we have to further question. And practically, how can I do it? So the prophetic examples are extremely important for us. At least theoretically, we should know that the prophet means practices the manifestations of the qualities of the Creator in his human side and acts accordingly. That is what living Quran means. Acts accordingly. That's why they have to be just, they have to be wise, they shouldn't be emotional and angry, that doesn't know what he's doing after you got control, not being able to control one's anger and lose one's patience. No, they have to be patient. They have to understand the people, accordingly treat them. That is wisdom. So unfortunately nowadays, especially nowadays, the Muslim youth are charged with emotions because of inferiority complex. Everywhere the Muslims are backward, Muslims live in very low economical conditions. The power-wise, they don't have as powerful as the other superpower people. Nowadays, we feel complex, inferiority complex. As a result of this inferiority complex, always burst out in reaction. And most of the public speakers, shuyukh, exploit this weakness of the youth. That's why they speak in such a way that you are great, you can do this, Palestine. I don't know, something happened here. These Europeans, this Americans, this conspiracy is going on here and there. Reaction. That's why prophets never react. Wisdom requires, okay, if they attack, I have to defend myself. Yeah? Protect myself. God is Hafiz. I have to be Hafiz of my existence. I have to be Hafiz of the truth. Hafiz, you understand? Protect my life, protect the Imane, protect my feelings, protect my mind. I have no right to lose my mind. For example, I have to be honest to the trust. So I cannot use my eye, my mind, my ear. For example, I cannot waste by listening stupid talk, for example. So I sometimes look at the title. Oh, it is very interesting. I start reading just claims with no evidence, just claims and shouting. Well, I cannot misuse my ear. It's emanate. That is that consciousness, we need to be aware of. So I cannot watch stupid. I cannot keep my mind busy with political things that there are lots of maneuvers, stratagems that I don't know. Because I see my students talking about politics, they know nothing. So in one day, I see 1,000 bubbles. One day, they are talking about Pakistani politics. Everybody is speculating without knowing what's going on behind the screen. Waste of time. It is haram. Because I cannot waste. I have to concentrate and be wise. What is my real responsibility? So I was so sorry. Last couple of days, they are talking about something happened somewhere in Pakistan, I think, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Oh, man, all of them are contradicting each other. Everybody has different views. But if they are, he said this, a politician said something, definitely they lie. That's a politician. Politician must lie. So we don't know that the professional politician or the politics is based on lying, cheating people, making themselves appear to be the best. The opposition is
The worst.
also the worst. That is what their profession is. Why do you waste time? But thousands of bubbles, they write each other, they insult each other, they get angry, excited, but
Emotions.
they are not aware of anything other than what they hear from shuyukh saying. Some verses are very famous. Some hadith narrations are very famous. They keep repeating them. Unfortunately, so we have to be very careful where we are really learning religion. Unfortunately.
So reflecting Hafiz, the quality of Hafiz.
Yeah, to protect.
Protect.
Yeah, protect our human side. So we cannot waste it. We have to be really economical, using in the best way. Economical doesn't mean using less. Do you understand? Iktisad, you know the word iktisad? Iktisad?
The best way.
Sorry?
In the best way. So,
But economical. But we understand economical, for example, use less. No. Iktisad means really, the root word is kast. Kast means purpose. Purpose what? For example, use water for the purpose of its existence, to wash. And in order to wash something, you need plenty of water. Yes, use plenty of water, it is iktisad. Otherwise, if you don't use enough water, it doesn't get clean. Purposeless. So less or more is not iktisad. Iktisad means using for the purpose of its creation. Yeah. For example, I may say, okay, I shouldn't take really much air because I have to use it. I have to be very iktisad. It is economical. It is not pointless. Pointless. Use it because it is created to clean your blood. Yeah? Use it as much as possible because you are responsible to make your blood clean. So we don't. So of course, the ultimate purpose in creation, what? To acknowledge the Creator's generosity in creating air, in creating water, in creating food. Acknowledgement is the ultimate purpose. But practically, this food is created to feed your body, practically. But the theoretical side is this food is created in order to understand that the creator of this food, the provider of this food, is the one who takes care of you. He is the generous one. He is the provider. He is the nourisher. So acknowledging him, use it as a means of acknowledgement of its creator. And this is being a mirror, comprehensive mirror to the manifestations of the creator of the universe.
MashaAllah. All right, friends, any comments so far? All right, so we'll continue. A special addressee of his, with the best understanding of his divine addresses and speech. Special addressee.
Yeah.
Human being. Special. Chosen.
Yeah. Actually, universe is, we can say universe is created for human beings. God speaks to human beings. And because He has the potentiality to understand it total. It is total meaning, potentiality. So we have to develop our potentiality to understand, saying that God is speaking to me. And I have to use my feelings and all human qualities in order to understand what my Creator is telling me.
With the best understanding of his divine addresses and speech.
Yeah, among the creatures.
Among the creatures.
Yeah. The Quran says even you can understand this. Speech means, actually we have to understand, speech means, God's speech means, let's take the example of a human being. If I know something, I speak out and disclose my knowledge.
Mm.
Now, if you can, for example, repair the telephone, you act and repair it, that is your speech. Disclosing your quality in your
Speech.
action,
okay.
or disclosing your quality in your verbal speech. Now, universe is silent speech of God. Silent, which means not verbal, but action-wise, like repairing your machine. While creating the universe, the Creator, God, speaks and reveals his qualities to conscious beings. Reveals his qualities to conscious beings. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, while he is speaking, he is revealing who he is in his speech. His knowledge is revealed, his wisdom is revealed, his qualities, all his qualities are explained in the speech. So human beings can understand all the qualities explained in two kinds of speeches: the universe, action-wise, the Quran, verbal expression. So I can understand this better. Quran says you can understand much better than even the angels can. Angelic side of the universe, every angel represents one manifestation of God's names. And he must be conscious of what he is doing, because perfect creation is there. Mm. So unconscious beings cannot execute this universe like this. So this comparison between angel, the Quranic comparison, Quran compares angels with human beings and teaches human beings that although you may fall, you may make a mistake, still you are superior because your capacity is there. But if you make a mistake, it is your shortcoming. Your potentiality is still there. Got it? So this comparison is useful for us to understand that God orders angels to perform, to execute what he wants. But when God speaks to human beings, he discloses himself and sets them free. Whether you accept it, you realize what the content of the speech is or not. But when you deny it, you cut off your relationship with God to acknowledge God. You don't acknowledge God. When you accept it, it opens up. What we have to do now, we have to watch everything what is created out there and try to see the meaning. For example, I can see a bird now, a pigeon, flying and doing all these wing movements, perfect balance. Who taught him? Who taught it? How you keep your balance? Right? Even a child learns how to walk in balance in 2 years. It means God is creating with balance, manifesting his name, if you like, in English, balancer, the muwazzin in Arabic. So you have to say, oh, if I see any balance in creation, for example, tree trunk here and branches seem to be growing randomly. But at the end, you see that this tree has this shape. All the random growth, seemingly random growth of the branch makes the perfect shape to show that this is deliberately designed, this is deliberately given this form in order to make the distinction between this tree is different from the other tree, separately created. Perfect arrangements. Everything discloses the names, the qualities of the Creator, and we have to know that the speech of God also is delivered to human beings because I have the capacity. So, am I going to be proud of it? No. I have to take the responsibility. So, since, let's say, the teacher is teaching me, knowing that I can understand, that is teacher's side. About me, oh, since it is taught to me, it means I can understand. Let me try to understand about my responsibility. Mm-hmm. Let me practically try to understand the speech rather than saying I'm superior to angels. So what? Yes, you are superior to angels. How did you use your superiority to angels? How did you benefit from it? Have you utilized it? No, this is just an arrogance because I'm superior in my creation. And then Satan said, I'm superior in
my creation,
in creation as compared to Adam. Mm-hmm. So it is a satanic attitude if you say, I'm superior to angels, but do nothing. No, okay, addressee. Also, there are lots of other specialities of human beings.
Yeah, human being is the most needy of the living beings of the universe.
Okay.
And
why we said we are super but most needy?
That's interesting.
Yeah. For example, if I was like an ant, I need this much food. 1 milligram is enough. But since I am here, I need a lot. So it was needy means hungry to get to know the reality. Mm-hmm. Most needy because I have enormous human capacity. All of them need to be satisfied. Oh, I have to work. I have to be really careful, conscious of my capacity because I have huge capacity to be satisfied. So if you are an ant, 1 drop of water is enough for you maybe for a month or for a year. But since you are a human being, how much water you need? So most needy means have the opportunity to get to know the source of bounty is coming to you better or the best, the highest capacity. So need is because need is the source of realizing the truth.
So human needs are the focus.
Yeah, everybody, not only human needs. For example, let's say the flies need something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know, practically they know who is providing whatever they need. So my need is the criteria, how much capacity I have. So if I have this much cup, I can carry only the amount of water which the cup carries. But if I have a huge cup, so I need water, if you like, water cup, to fill it. It's a huge amount of water. That means we must pay attention to the need side of our creation, so that I have to pay attention to how am I going to satisfy my needs. Yeah, it means I have to work more to fill my cup. My cup is huge. So it is a kind of needy, a kind of source of responsibility.
Most needy of living beings of the universe, and is a wretched living creature who has innumerable desires and goals. Many desires, innumerable desires and goals. Numberless enemies and things that harm him, despite his infinite poverty and impotence.
Almost on the
same line,
like needy side.
Yeah. The infinite poverty and impotence on the needy side. Is the richest in regard to abilities and potentialities.
Because
Richest.
Because of the need.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to understand that our quality comes from how best we are, comes from how best we acknowledge that we are needy and someone else is satisfying our need. So it works on the reverse side, or how do you say, contradictory side. The more I realize I am needy, the better I perform my mission in this world. So, as the prophet says, the famous saying, "Fakhri, fakhri." Of course, it with a very limited meaning is I am poor, financially poor.
Uh-huh.
It's very limited.
Literal, meaning.
It's extremely limited meaning. Yeah, it is true. I cannot be proud of my property. I am poor. Okay. I am proud of my poverty. The meaning of fakhri. I am proud of my poverty. Why? Because only through the poverty that I realize the truth. And through the need, for example, let's say, I don't need mercy. How can I realize mercy? That my Creator is merciful. I'm not aware of. Only through need that we become aware of our reality. That's what the prophet is saying. I am fakir, I am needy, as the words here, impotent, poverty, impotence. For example, I am in need of every cell in my body, this is a physical example, to be healthy, right? That's what needy. But I am impotent. Why? I cannot guarantee that this cell will be working perfectly. I cannot do that. So when I see that my cells are working perfectly, I say, who's doing that? I cannot do it, but somebody else is doing that. This is the only way to understand the source of health is not me, but the creator, arranger of the order of the universe. So that is how human beings acknowledge God. We say in our classes, if you want to know who your creator is, first, we have to realize that we are created. We are needy to be created. If I don't realize that I am in need of being created, I would never be able to understand that the one who gave me existence is the creator. I would never. For example, if someone, for example, a dead body, a person who's dead, can he stand up on his legs, on his feet?
No.
No, why? How a living being can stand up? Balance, that keeping, because of my nervous system. When a life is provided, and I can stand up. So when I stand up like this without falling like a dead body, I am needy. Can you guarantee that you won't fall down? It is given.
Yeah.
The more we realize how much needy we are, the better we realize who is my creator, who my creator is. So we have to pay attention to our neediness, our poverty, our impotence. That's why the prophet says, my impotence, my poverty is my pride. I'm very happy that I am needy, because through the need, I understand who my creator is. Need is endless needs. Oh, as much as you have the feelings, they all need to be satisfied.
So the need is a blessing, is the
Yes.
richness. Yeah.
That, you see how wise the prophet is saying. But we reduce it to only the prophet was the poorest man in Medina.
Financially.
That is correct, but it is only a millionth of the meaning, if you like. But it's not the point. It could have been the rich. For example, David was rich, the prophet Dawood, Prophet Suleiman was rich.
Yeah.
He had an army, powerful. But still, as a prophet, they must be needy. They must be there. I need this army. I need this kingdom, if you like, for David, Dawood. I need it. I need it. And God is giving me, not me. So I am needy, he is rich. That's why the Prophet Suleiman is described in the Quran as a dead body on the throne. That's the Quranic description of Suleiman. Dead body on the throne. But the throne represents what? Power. Yeah? So, as far as you are concerned, you are a dead body on power. It means absolutely need of power of God, not yourself. The source of power is God, not you. That example of the excellent. But some people say, I don't know, waste of time. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he died, and the jinn didn't know he was still dead. Those stories, pointless. No, I don't know. These are the speculations. It is not the meaning of the message of the Quran. That's why it is very important that we should understand that we have to acknowledge our poverty, our impotence. Not that I am powerful. Yeah. No, I can do whatever I want. I'm free. No one can interfere into my life. No, who are you? You are advising me. Huh? Look at the arrogance. No, it works reverse. The more powerful you feel, the more secure you feel in your life, depending on yourself, of course, not God, the weaker you are. If you like, you miss the point. You waste your time. Okay, inshallah. That's enough.
The most suffering in respect of the pleasures of life, whose enjoyment is marred by ghastly pains. the most suffering in respect of the pleasures of life,
Mm.
whose enjoyment is marred by ghastly pains. So
We can never, ever guarantee the satisfaction of our needs.
yeah,
So that's why we turn to God. Please, you satisfy. You are the one who provide everything.
so this needs is going a lot of
Yeah, well,
very important.
everything. For
Yeah.
example, okay, if you live with your husband, look at this, 4 to 5 years, 50 years together, 4 to 5 years. How old is your eldest child? How old is she? You don't know, like me, huh?
Always 18.
Sorry?
Always 18. I'm just kidding.
No. Hold on. 40 years old, maybe more? More. 40. Okay. You have been married for 40 years. Now, you behave nicely, kindly to each other for 40 years. One day, let's say for any reason, your wife told you something very nasty, God forbid, inshallah not. You don't forget that moment. You forget 40 years of good life, you keep this word. You told me this. You insulted me. You used this word for me. You never forget that. That's how we are. So here we go.
The most suffering.
Yes, suffering in respect of the pleasure of your life. For example, God creates the earth comfortable, listen. We have no problem. Huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's say after 50 years, there's an earthquake and your house damaged. Which kind of that is?
Yeah.
how he damaged my life or harm me or harm my property. Where is God's mercy? But for 40 years, for 50 years, 60 years, we have been receiving God's mercy. We don't remember. For example, the earth is not shaking today. Yeah? Who remembers that? Oh, which kind of God he is that he made the earth comfortable for me? No, I don't remember. I don't remember. But when it shakes, I keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Complaining. It's destroyed everything.
That's how it is in corporate life also.
That's why we have to realize who we are really. So most suffering in respect of pleasure of the pleasures of life,
Yeah.
whose enjoyment is marred by ghastly pain. Okay, you are happy, healthy for 40 years, and suddenly something happens. Let's say, God forbid, inshallah not. Stomach is aching. Oh, I'm suffering. But for 50 years, you have been enjoying a healthy life.
Yeah.
Did you say, I am happy, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah? No.
Alhamdulillah.
When it comes to complaint, lamentations, we are there. When there is a war, something people say, where is God? Yeah. God has been with you for 50 years. You didn't realize now there is a war. You remember now there's God.
Yeah.
How grateful human beings we are. Okay, it's interesting.
Yes. That's
Okay,
unfortunately that's how human beings are in their understanding.
we never forget.
Yeah. Always the negative things remain. All right. So any other comments by anyone? So maybe let's do one more. So man is a wondrous miracle of the power of the eternally besought one and marvel of divine power. miracle of the power of the Absolute One, and marvel of divine power, who is the most needy and wanting,
Mm.
most needy and wanting, and worthy of deserving of immortality, worthy and deserving of immortality.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yes.
We need immortal, never-ending pleasure of life,
Mhm.
existence.
And seeks and beseeches eternal happiness. Man always seeks and beseeches eternal happiness with endless prayers,
Mm.
always working towards
And we have to
endless
pray.
happiness.
Keep praying.
Yeah. And if all the pleasures of this world were given to him, his desire for immortality would not be satisfied.
Immortality, because the pleasure of this world is
transient. Yeah.
So immortality wouldn't be satisfying.
It's not satisfied with transience. I love not those that said.
Yeah.
Famous saying by Prophet Abraham. And who loves to the degree of worshiping him, the one who bestows bounty on him and makes him loved and is loved. Loves to the degree of worshiping him, the one who bestows bounties on him and makes him loved and is loved.
Both sides will, but needs a long
discussion
here. First of all, the more I love the Creator, the more I feel that He loves me, because I realize who He is. The more God loves me, I can love Him through the manifestation of His love in me, but it needs conscious relationship. And I have to know that, for example, my hands are healthy. The one who creates healthy hands, it means He loves me.
Yeah.
But I have to realize this. So actually they function together.
Yeah.
The more I realize that my Creator loves me, the more I love Him. The more I love Him, I have a positive relationship with Him, and start seeing that not only my hands, my arms also working perfectly, my legs are also perfect. Oh, you see, that process never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Mutual correspondence. That's why the Quran says, if you are thankful, God gives you more. وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَيَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. I think. Anyway,
the more grateful one is.
So here, وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ وَمَنْ كَفَرَ women not kafara. There is a verse in other kafara, but women esae wallahu ghaniyyun hamid. Or women kafara felinefsi or fa'alayha. There are lots of verses like this, which means quite a lot of words like this. If you are thankful, it means if you love God, okay, otherwise you wouldn't be thankful. Yeah. If you love God, it is your benefit. You realize that God doesn't need you to love Him, but the more you love God, you realize that God is loving you. Otherwise, you wouldn't love Him. So if you don't love, you are the loser, because you will say, oh, I am not lucky because I'm going to die. We don't see the manifestations of mercy of God in us, because we always see that, oh, I'm getting old. It means I'm losing. What we don't never think. In fact, what are you losing? Your youth.
Yeah.
Did you create your youth? Did you create your youth?
No.
It is given to you.
Yeah.
So you are losing what you have been given. So the owner is by giving whatever God gives us, the opportunity to get to know him. So he says, okay, I'll take them back, and as much as you acknowledged me, I will give you that much. That is why the next creation, resurrection, hereafter must be created. Because he gives us the opportunity to acknowledge, and then takes it away, this transient. I'm going to give you the permanent one because you want the permanent one. That's what he says. Endless. We need endless prayers, endless immortality. Then, so in this world, the expectations of immortality is not satisfied.
Yeah.
But it means I am created with the sense, with the need of immortality. I shouldn't lose whatever I have been given. But depending on how much I recognize that it is given to me, then God will give me, take this transient word, transient pleasure, and give me as much as I acknowledge him. Because he gives me a little bit, let's say, I am hungry, he gives me, let's say, one plate of food. Just one plate of food. From there, I understand that, my creator is taking care of me.
Yeah.
And my creator is taking care of Asim as well, Feria as well, mother, father. My creator is taking care of the need of everything. What becomes through one plate, we can acknowledge that all needs of the creatures are taken care of by God, who is the creator. So we say that, but we started with one plate.
Yeah.
And we end up saying that God's care is endless. Now, this body cannot, but consciousness, yes. Iman, yes. But body cannot experience endless care. So what I need now, I need a body which will experience endless care. I deserve it. I acknowledged it. I confirmed it. I was grateful for it. God says, okay, I am going to take this body away from you. It's no good for your expectations. I will give you a body which will satisfy your expectations. Wow. That is why resurrection is definitely necessary. Human mind can understand it. So immortality becomes possible, not in this world, but in the next world. Why? Because my body cannot carry immortality. This creation is just a training place. Now, satisfaction must be in another place. It is another creation. Let's do the paragraph.
No, so I need maybe more explanation on
Sorry?
So worship out of love. So worship out of need and out of love, right?
Through need.
Through need, I worship.
And turn it into love.
Yeah.
But when you realize your need, and you realize that it is satisfied by the absolute being, so it turns into a love of God as the absolute being. So this love deserves to be rewarded. How? A new creation is needed. Physically, because we have to know that. That attracts my attention really a lot. Spirit cannot experience without body, tool. Spirit wants to see. If there was no eye, can he see?
No.
The body is needed.
But something is needed.
That is how we are created. That is why resurrection is necessary, a body, in order to satisfy the need of my spirit, which is educated, which is enlightened, if you like, which became aware. That's why Mu'min's spirit needs a body which will be used to satisfy his expectations. The denier's body, because they denied, they were disgraceful, ungrateful, their body will be experiencing the deprivation of their expectations, because they said, there is no creator, no one will satisfy me. Okay, I will treat you accordingly. You are ungrateful, I will treat you accordingly. We understand this. For example, if a child begs you to give a chocolate, you give the chocolate. What he does, he just steps on it, smashes it, and makes it in a trash. And then he said, please give me another chocolate. Will you give? That is human feeling. That is how we understand that the hell is really a must and needs to be created. Paradise also. Paradise also. If you see a man is coming, comes to you, a person, I am hungry, I have nothing to eat for 2 days, or 1 day, whatever. You say, give me some food. You give the food, and he eats and eats, and his eyes are so happy, bright. Says, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. What do you feel? Would you like some more? Yeah? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Would you like some more? If he says yes, would you give or not? If you have. So the creator is absolute, he has endless. So if we are grateful, definitely he will say, would you like some more? If we are ungrateful, even if we beg, that's why the Quran is full of description of paradise, to hell. It says, they will say, please send us back and we will be grateful. No. You failed the test. You failed the test.
Yeah.
Too late. Yeah, when you were in the world, you have to think, you have to use your tools, intelligence, understand what the reality is. You shouldn't be obstinate to deny. You were saying that we are going to die and disappear. Okay, you disappear now. You have nothing from me anymore. So, okay, inshallah, let's go further.
Okay, Bismillah. And all of man's faculties, which encompass all of those faculties.
That's it. And all of
so man's faculties, which encompass the universe.
Yeah.
Testify that man was created to go to eternity. So all those faculties, right, testify.
Okay. And the faculty,
correct.
So we created for eternity,
And through the above 20 universal truths is bound to Almighty God's name of truth.
So 20 qualities of human beings are mentioned now in this paragraph, above paragraph.
Oh, see. Is bound to Almighty God's name of truth.
Yeah.
And whose actions are continuously recorded by the all-glorious preserver's name of preserver.
Well, he is Haqq, the creator is the truth. It means whatever is created is based on a truth. He creates based on a truth, not purposeless, not meaningless, but truth.
Yeah.
That's what the Quran says. Bil haq. There are many verses keep repeating that we created everything bil haq, with truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
Truth. And so truth and preserver.
Yeah.
Who sees the most insignificant need of the tiniest animate being, hears its plaint, and responds in action.
Plaint means complaint.
complaint or
Yeah.
any call asking for seeking any help, assistance.
Yeah.
Here's
Every
plaint
being is really given everything.
and response. So everything is responded by action. And being related to the whole universe. So man being related to the whole universe, whose deeds are written down by the noble scribes of that name.
It means preserver.
Uh-huh.
He is the preserver.
Noble scribes of that name of preserver, and who more than anything else receives the attention of that particular through that name.
Yes, a noble scribes means the translation of the word of the Quran is kiram and katibin.
Oh, okay.
It means angels are employed to execute the recording, but it is the Quranic description of it. In fact, the name of preserver is manifesting.
Yeah.
But in this word, we write it down. So it is written in, for example, nowadays in chips, right? One chip is a small chip, has whole book.
Noble scribes.
The noble scribes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is memory, for example. Whatever it is, I don't know the technology.
So manifested in different forms
so,
and shapes.
God is teaching me that, look, even I create a substance, something, which preserves this much knowledge. So how can I not preserve the recordings of your life story? Okay, inshallah, let's stop. It's already almost 20 minutes.
Thank you for your patience. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay.
In his name. Okay. Surah Al-Fatiha. Thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.